Disclaimer. This video provides factual geopolitical analysis for educational purposes. It does not endorse or oppose any political party, government, or organization. What if the United States just launched a parallel diplomatic structure outside traditional United Nations channels aimed at reshaping the future of Gaza? What if billions in reconstruction pledges, troop commitments, and multinational coordination signal not just humanitarian concern, but a strategic reset? The newly launched Board of Peace initiative, hosted by President Donald Trump, may represent something larger than a single meeting. Is this about Gaza, or is this about America rebuilding its influence in the Middle East? Tonight, we analyze the strategy, the numbers, the risks, and who actually benefits. On February 19, 2026, President Donald Trump hosted the inaugural Board of Peace Summit in Washington, D.C. Representatives from nearly 50 countries attended. The focus: Gaza reconstruction, security stabilization, and a proposed international coordination framework. This was not just rhetoric. It involved financial commitments, security planning, and institutional design. Financial pledges total roughly $17 billion in announced commitments. But money is not strategy by itself. The real question is allocation. Housing reconstruction, water and electricity infrastructure, port rehabilitation, civil administration support, employment programs. If executed properly, reconstruction spending can create local economic multipliers. If mismanaged, it can fuel corruption or instability. The success of this initiative depends not on headline numbers, but on governance mechanisms. Who oversees the money, who audits it, and who controls implementation on the ground. 5 countries reportedly pledged troops to an international stabilization force. Their mandate: assists in policing, law enforcement support, and stabilization during reconstruction. This matters because reconstruction without security becomes unsustainable. But this also introduces questions. Who commands the force? What are the rules of engagement? How long is the mandate? What happens if armed groups resist? A stabilization mission can reduce violence, or it can become entangled in local political struggles. History in the Middle East offers examples of both outcomes. For civilians in Gaza, potential benefits are tangible: access to reconstruction funds, restoration of utilities, economic activity, youth programs, and community rebuilding. But reconstruction must align with political legitimacy. Without a viable governance framework, financial aid alone cannot sustain peace. Peace is not just concrete and steel. It is institutions. For the United States, this initiative may serve broader strategic goals: reassert diplomatic leadership, demonstrate alternative institutional frameworks, reduce regional escalation risk, stabilize energy markets, reinforce alliances. It also signals that Washington intends to shape post-conflict outcomes directly, rather than outsourcing coordination entirely to multilateral bodies. Is this humanitarian leadership, or geopolitical leverage, or both? This initiative may subtly challenge traditional international structures. If successful, it sets precedent. Ad hoc coalitions managing regional stabilization. If unsuccessful, it reinforces reliance on established institutions. Energy markets, shipping corridors, and regional alliances are all sensitive to Gaza's stability. This is not isolated. It is systemic. Key uncertainties remain: congressional approval of funding, security force effectiveness, regional political acceptance, long-term governance design, internal U.S. political polarization. Reconstruction efforts historically faced delays, disputes, and misaligned incentives. Will this initiative overcome those structural challenges, or will it join a long list of ambitious diplomatic experiments? The Board of Peace may mark an inflection point, not simply for Gaza, but for how the United States organizes power, influence, and reconstruction in the Middle East. The coming months will determine whether this becomes a model or a moment. If you value analysis without noise, subscribe to Strategic Pivot. Like, share, and comment. Is America rebuilding strategy or rewriting it?